Miss Hazel Wheeler, 58 Greenhead Lane, Dalton, Huddersfield. Dear Miss Wheeler, I spent my 21st birthday in a German prisoner of war camp. Stalag 20A, Fort 13, Thorn in Poland. I was not the only one to do so. As many were about the same age, I suppose all of them had their 21st there. It is the deeds that impressed me on that particular day, and have ever since. I had been discharged from hospital, and although I was in a room with about 30 other chaps, I was feeling pretty sorry for myself, living daily on the ration of 1 litre of very weak soup and a piece of brown bread the size of a corned beef tin. Most of the other chaps were sent out to work, which was either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what and where the work was. If it was making roads in the middle of nowhere without any hope of stealing, begging or bartering for extra food, it was a dead loss, as well as energy consuming. On the other hand, if it was a job where contact could be made with Polish civilians or sympathetic German soldiers, there was always a chance of getting extra grub, cigarettes, etc. Most of us, most of the time, were damn near starving and in pretty poor condition. One tea time I had gobbled my bread down and was filling myself up with hot Ersta's coffee. I sat envying 4 chaps opposite who were able to eat a little longer thanks to the loot they had managed to pick up on the outside. At this point, after a little discussion, they asked me to join them and share their little extra. I told them I would be a dead loss to them as I was not able to work. They said, "This is why we have invited you over to muck in with us." This was the day my whole attitude to life changed. In the midst of poverty, squalor, degradation and despair, these blokes were willing to care for me. They should be mentioned for their goodness. Harry Beasley of Leicester, Topsy Turner of Bradford, who later attended my wedding, Bill Footed of Nottingham, and John somebody of Leicester, or Nottingham. I've forgotten his name and exact whereabouts. A day or two later, could be weeks, it was my 21st birthday. The 5 of us were down to bare rations simply because the gang were on a lousy job, where loot or extra grub was not there to be begged or pinched. About 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, a bearded sailor stuck his head round the door and shouted, "Is there a Lazenby bloke in here?" When I replied I was Lazenby, he threw a piece of white bread about the size of half of one of our loaves to me and said, "Happy birthday, mate." I only knew him by sight, being one of about 12 sailors amongst 300 or so soldiers. He stood out. His name was Brigham Young. What all youngs are, of course. From the submarine seal. Caught off Norway or somewhere up there. I've never been the same person since that day. When I tried to thank him, he would have none of it. When I offered to share the bit of bread with my 4 muckers, they would have none, saying it was my birthday and I should have the extra. What can you say of comrades like these? I never want to experience those conditions again, but I cherish the memory of that day, those deeds, and those friends. I can honestly say that my 21st made me resolve to try to be a man like these men. Yours sincerely, Harry Lazenby, prisoner of war 5774, Thorn, Poland.